Ela mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. E eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela. Ela mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. E eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela. Ela mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. E eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela.
Fala alguma coisa da aura dela. Beleza, deixa eu ver. É brilhosa? Ela é muito bonita. Ela me deixa confuso. Como alguma coisa enchendo meu peito. Eu sinto falta de ar.
Dela. Mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. Eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela. Mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. Eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela. Ela mora no meu peito e eu moro vizinho a aqui. Eu fico desse jeito, pensando nos beijos, nos carinhos dela.
Yeah. 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 I feel it. Yeah. I feel it. Yeah. I Yeah. Yo. 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 Yo.
I'm only one step. Only
Kalashi. Yashi, yashi. Kalashi. Yashi, yashi.
Okay. This should be way better now. First and foremost, my apologies. As most of you know, I have moved, and so my setup is still not all the way put together. So I was having some mic issues. But so here we go. Good morning, and welcome to Ante Meridiem with Roxxy Haze, the weekly mini morning podcast brought to you by Bodum. Make sure you check out the links in the description box for the different Bodum mugs that are available. There's kettles, there's teapots. They got everything tea and coffee related. Check out Bodum.com. Okay, so if you're new to this podcast is basically to help discuss how to focus, motivation, just basically how to get things done. That is somewhat my forte. I like to spout out my credentials because now I'm getting more credentials. So right now I am a producer for All Def Digital for their, is it still digital? Yeah, it's digital. All digital or media. I probably should know that. But for All Def on their gaming and cannabis channels. I also am now an editor and a features writer for The Gamer, which is a very prominent gaming website. They also are in charge of, it's like The Gamer, Screen Rant, Game Rant, and Comic Book Resource. So if you've seen any of those, that is under the same umbrella. So I'm now a writer and editor for that. I'm also continuously working on my own stuff, which is what am I working on? Oh, my next mixtape, which is the Roxxy Haze mixtape. I actually think I'm going to call this one "I Like You." You'll see why once that gets released. I'm working on still my own sketches. I'm working on my stand-up. I actually have a lot of shows coming up in LA. So if you're in LA, make sure to check those out. And I'm having to look at this list. I'm working on 2 different animated series. I'm working on a short film. I'm working on some parodies. I'm working on Did I already say animated series? Yeah, but I'm also working on some voice acting, and I am working on learning the ukulele. I'm working on continuously getting better at singing. I also stream, I also game, and I am a dog mom and a human mom. So I often get asked, like, how do you do all those different things? And I'm going to say poorly, very, very poorly sometimes. Very, very poorly sometimes. But I try my best. So I use this podcast as a way for me to kind of discuss some of the things that I do. And usually I have guests on here and talk about the way that they do things. I just like to know as much as I possibly can about any subject. And so this subject that we're talking about is focus and motivation. So this is a live episode. If you're watching this live, thank you. And I can see all of your comments in the StreamYard. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them now. I'm going to try to ask as many questions as I possibly can within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So ask away. They can be anything related to career. They can be anything related to scheduling, productivity. And once again, I always like to say this. I'm not an expert at any of these things. I just try my best. Okay, I try my best at what I can do. So feel free to ask. Feel free to ask away. Okay, new setup. Congrats on everything. Thank you so much. I'm still like getting stuff set up so right now, I'll just tell y'all kind of what's going on in my life. I moved from Houston to LA. I got like these new jobs. I got some other stuff. And I just, for what I do, and it's not to say you can't do these things in Houston, but for what I'm trying to do, like the acting and all of that stuff, I needed to come to a city where that was more prevalent. And that would be LA for me. So like, I know some people out here. I've networked out here. I have some friends out here. I've done shows out here. So this just seemed like a logical move. So I moved out here. Right now I'm staying with a friend, and then I will be getting my own apartment next week. I'm still looking around. So if y'all know somebody renting a house or something, let me know in the Los Angeles area, in the non-dirty area. Okay, I like to stay where it's not dirty. So that's what's going to be happening. So once that's done, so I'm gonna say like in a couple weeks, y'all are gonna see a completely new setup. It's gonna be completely new. It's gonna be working on getting my gaming PC, all of that stuff. So I really can't wait for y'all to see what I'm gonna be working on once I get like settled and situated. And now I'm not as broke. So it's about to be a way, way better setup. So I'm really excited about that. All right. So let's get to the questions. Why did the dog mom come first? I don't know. I was trying to set it up like dog mom and a people mom. But yeah, it's made it seem like the dog was more important. I do love that dog, but the child is more important. Man, do you sleep? That's actually a good question. So for a while, I was not really sleeping. And that was just because of poor scheduling. I was not scheduling properly, and I was just doing way, way too much, trying to not be broke, because I was very, very, very broke. I'm going to just be honest, because that's my thing. I like to try to be as honest as possible. Most of 2018 to 2019 and most of 2020, I was like struggling very, very hard financially. I didn't have a car. Like my car had got messed up and I could not get it fixed. I didn't have a car. I had like broke off an engagement. So like all the financial stuff that comes with that, I had got evicted. And so like I had moved into this new apartment, which was like on the other side of town from like all of my friends and people that I grew up around, just because I could afford it. And I had a broken lease, all of this stuff. And so like once I started working, I went into like hyper focus. I refused to be broke again mode. But helicopter, I'm doing stuff. Anyway, I went into, I can't be broke anymore. I need this money. And so I was just picking up every job I could, any gig I could do, because I also do graphics. So like if somebody needed some graphic design, I was doing it, and I was doing it immediately. And I was working and working and working. And I wasn't really getting to spend a lot of time with my child, wasn't getting to spend a lot of time with my dog. And I wasn't getting time to focus on my stuff as much. Like I was still doing my stuff, but not as much and not to the quality that I wanted to. And I wasn't sleeping. Like it was sometimes that I just fell asleep on the hardwood floor. Like I would just pass out in the middle of the day just because like I was working so hard and overworking myself just because I was so scared of being broke again. And so I hate when I hear people talking about like work, you got to work and sleep is for losers. No, like our bodies need sleep. Our bodies need to reset. And if you're not getting proper sleep, you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. It's the same thing with food. If you're not eating or you're not eating properly, if you're not drinking water, you're killing yourself. And it's not, no amount of money is worth that. No amount of money is worth that. Like my skin was bad. Like it's I don't think we talk enough about like how sleeping and making our bodies rest impacts our body. Like not just like how you feel, but physically. Like my skin is clearing up. My skin was so bad last year. My skin was so bad. It's also just like the stress and all of this stuff. So like now, if I don't have a show or if I'm not streaming, I'm going to bed at 10. I'm going to bed at 10, 11 o'clock. Like I put myself kind of on the same schedule that I put my daughter on for school. I'm going to bed 10, 11 o'clock because what am I staying up for? What am I staying up for? Nothing. So I go to bed at like 10, 11 and my body's getting used to the schedule again. So I've been waking up at like 4:30. So I've been, like 6 hours of sleep and then I'm good. And then sometimes I'll still take a nap during the day just because I like naps. I like naps. I like how they make me feel. So I'll still try to take a nap. But yeah, I try to get at least 6 hours of sleep. If I do have a show or if I know I'm going to stream that night, then I'll just try to sleep a little bit more or sneak in a nap or something like that. But please let your bodies rest. You don't have to overwork yourself like people act like you do. You don't need to do that. It's not safe. And this is the last thing I'm saying on like last night, like I needed to film some sketches. I haven't been filming any sketches, none of that TikToks in like 2-3 weeks. And I've been feeling guilty about it. Like, nah, I need to get this out. And so I had did all this work yesterday. And then I was like, okay, now is the time for me to do some sketches. But it was like 10 o'clock. And I was like, nah, man, I'm going to bed. I ate an edible and laid on down because I'm not, I could have filmed it last night, but I also could film it today, and I scheduled it for today. So scheduling helps, and giving yourself some slack and not trying to feel like if you're not working every second, you're doing something wrong. So yeah, definitely get some sleep. What PC would I recommend? I'm not the person to talk to about that. I am very aware of my strengths and my weaknesses, and recommending anything computer-wise or technologically is not my forte. Who I would recommend is check out Kadeem Thomas. If you are familiar with anything on All Def, Kadeem basically runs all of those streams. He is in charge of everything technology with All Def. He also is a gamer and streamer himself. So check out Kadeem Thomas. It is Kathadius on Instagram, and that's his Twitch. But his business is called Kalos Media. So check him out. You can hit him up. You can set up appointments with him to set up your whole thing. Okay. So like if you need your setup, hit up Kadeem, Kalos Media. Go ahead, hit him up. It's KHALOS Media. Just send him a DM like, hey, I would like to set up an appointment for you to walk me through this stuff. And he will do it. And that man knows what he talks about, huh? Yes. You're not a PC builder extraordinary. No. In fact, y'all check out Rob Regal too. Because when I got some bread, I was like, I'm about to send you some money to build my PC. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I have a Mac. And Macs are cheeks for gaming. So I will be getting a new PC soon. But I could not tell you which one to get. Preach still struggling to find the balance between work and sleep mode. Whatever, Leo. So yeah, you definitely need to find the balance. And that I think really what, like I said before, what's helped me is scheduling. Like y'all seen it before. I got like 3 or 4 planners. The running to-do list planner, I changed it into an hourly / to-do list planner. And this is helping. I used to do this and I kind of went back to this where I'm writing out the hours and blocking out time. So I could really see how much time I'm spending on stuff. Not just that, like putting the most important tasks first, so like prioritizing the most important tasks and then scheduling everything else around it. So schedule your sleep, like schedule when you need to be in bed and schedule all the other stuff and go from there. How is it being able to work closer with some of the All Def crew? Man, it is dope. is dope. Definitely a wonderful experience that has opened up like a lot of different stuff for me. I'm still, well, I think I told the story before too, but I don't remember if it was Cleo or Kadeem that found my page. They found my page, and then Will Ferrell ended up finding my page. We actually had already followed each other on Facebook, but we hadn't really interacted much. And then he hit me up to do All Def Cannabis, and then it's been going from there. I've got to meet like a lot of people virtually, but I didn't really get to meet anybody physically until the 420 show that All Def Cannabis did. And it just so happened that I got on Keep Your Distance, Kev on Stage's show on the 16th. So I got to meet Kev. I got to meet Tony in person, Sabrina. I had already met like DZ and stuff. Well, no, I didn't meet DZ till 420, which was crazy because I had been talking to all these people for like a year virtually. I'm actually tripping. I just met most of them in person then, except for everybody that was in Vegas when we shot that Vegas stuff. So yeah, I got to meet all of them, all of the gaming people. So like I got to meet all the tokens, all the queens. And it was so dope. It was fun. Yes, GQ was there. So yeah, GQ, Max. I got to meet Kadeem in person for the first time. Cleo, Pat, and even What's Good. Like I did not physically meet these people until a year after we had been working together. And sorry, my nose is itching. And it's been a great experience. It's been a great experience. I've learned a lot. I'll say that. Like I've learned a lot. Like I've done producing before, but now I'm getting to produce way more on a more consistent basis than I've been doing before. And I'm getting more creative control. Like I'm getting to really be impactful with what I'm doing. And I'm also getting to help people. I'm getting to grow, and I'm getting to use skills that I didn't even know I had. Like I've been told before that I'm good at diffusing situations, and I didn't realize like how much I would need that skill in this job. Because any job where you deal with people, you're gonna have to deal with different personalities. Like everybody is cool and dope, but different personalities and different personalities clash, and you have to be able to take ego out of it and just try to handle the situation the best of your ability. So that is with any type of situation where you're going to have to work with people. You need to really figure out like how to deal with people. So I will say that, like, even though people are funny and they're great and they're talented, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different egos, a lot of different ways of doing things. Because you also got to remember, people come from different backgrounds, not just growing up, but different backgrounds, like how they work. And so something that may seem like, oh, this is simple, why don't you know how to do this, or why don't you do this, is not that they don't know how, it's just that they haven't. So you also have to somewhat be a teacher when you're being a producer. You have to use, like I said, different skill sets that you didn't know that you would have to use. And for me, because I'm like a person that likes to learn, I'm a person that likes to teach, and I'm a person that likes to help, it's just cool that I'm getting to use those skills. I would also like to say this, and I said I was going to write about this, but sometimes you may not think that you're qualified for a job just because you haven't necessarily been paid for it, or you don't have like experience, but there's a lot of skills that are transferable. I think those might even be called like soft skills. So it's a lot of skills that you may have that you did not even know that that would be applicable to different circumstances. I'm going to give you an example, and I already told the people at my job, so I can't get in trouble. So I recently, like I said, I got the job as an editor and writer for The Gamer. And I have written stuff. I've written scripts. I've written comic book. I've written all this other different stuff. Like I've written articles that I've just written for myself, like lists and listicles, all that kind of stuff. But I haven't got anything published, right? Also, I've edited things, but I've never been a professional editor, right? I've never been a features editor. So I figured out that I could do the job. Like I just got trained a couple days ago, but I figured out I could do the job because one of my favorite shows is Ugly Betty. And I just, once I started doing the training, I was like, oh, a lot of the stuff they did in Ugly Betty, I can do on here. Like it's a lot of the same skills. And so like I'm really qualified for this job because I watched Ugly Betty. So sometimes you may not even realize like, yo, I could do this. I've seen something on this or researched something on this. Like I actually am qualified to do this job. You know, just sometimes you got to reach back in that arsenal and pull out something that you didn't even know was there. All right, we're going to get a couple more questions. And I think I put this on screen, but I'm going to put it back. It's Kalos Media. Make sure to check him out if you need any help with setting up your stream, anything like that. And Kadeem is just delightful. He is a delightful young man. All right, so been following since 2014. It's dope to see how your hard work has been living up. Man, thank you. I'm going to make an anime analogy right now, and hopefully this will resonate at least a little bit or help. But a lot of times you'll see people getting in positions, and you'll be jealous, low key. You'll be jealous, low key, because you're like, it seems like they just kind of got it. You know what I mean? It seems like they just kind of got it. But a lot of times we don't see the work that people actually put in to get where they are. And that hard work could be from making their own stuff, working for other people, even just reading and researching. Like we don't really get to see the hard work that they got put in. And I will also say, and this is just a famous quote, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Okay, so I feel like I'm talented, but I'm also a hard worker. And I remember Will Smith said it, like, you're not gonna outwork me. And that's me. You're not gonna outwork me. You're not gonna outread me. You're not gonna out-research me. You're not gonna out-network me. You're not going to out-anything me. I go to the gym twice a day. Okay, like I read all day. I'm looking up stuff all day. I'm talking all day because I want to be the best that I possibly can. And I never want anybody to try to doubt or down talk me getting anything. Like I like that you guys get to see like the stuff I get, I deserve. And I'm having to be okay with getting stuff and acknowledging like, yo, no, I work for this. Like I deserve this. Like I've been doing social media for 10 years. I've been writing since I was a child, like legit. I still remember winning an award in like second grade. Like that's experience. You know what I mean? Like that's years in the making. So like, don't let people make you feel like you don't deserve something that you've earned or that like your work isn't good enough. Okay. Even if you did it as a child, if you've been drawing since you were 5 and you're 25, you have 20 years of experience. Don't let nobody tell you anything differently. Can't nobody tell me nothing when it comes to work. I'm going to always put in the work. I'm going to always try my best. And sometimes I'm not going to lie. I get lazy. I try to cut corners. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I try to do my best. I try to work as hard as I possibly can. And I like that people see that I am putting in work. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And it cuts the conversation of like, oh, she just got stuff because she's cute. Because if we're being real, I'm cute, but I ain't that cute. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm cute, but I'm not a conventionally attractive baddie. So let's not pretend that I'm just getting stuff because I'm attractive. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because this is something that I have heard. I've heard this before. I've heard it again recently. I work. Anybody that knows me or is around me, I work. And I feel like if you continue to put in work, and it's not just working for work's sake, is putting in planned work. The whole work smarter, not harder thing, like put in planned work. So one of the best things that anybody has ever taught me, it was Victor Varnado. I used to work for his company, Supreme Robot Pictures. If you follow me, then you remember me working for Alt Arts Academy. And I still like do stuff with Victor, but he did definitely fire me because I was being lazy. But we're still cool. That's still funny. Like I got fired, but we're still cool. But one of the things he taught me is like, make stuff work for you. Okay. So like, if I know that I want to be a writer, even though I haven't got published yet, I'm going to post something every day with my writing. And that's really how I got a lot of the writing jobs I got recently. Not because I was already published, but because when they asked me to see something, I have months and months worth of content that I already created. So if you want to be a gamer and you don't necessarily have a lot of followers, who cares? Stream as much as you can. You don't have to stream for 8 hours a day. Stream for an hour, and don't get discouraged if you're not getting views yet. The views will come. And the cool thing about it is when you build up an arsenal, when people do find you and you start getting followers, you're giving them so much content that they can go back and rewatch. So don't get discouraged. Continue to build. Don't let anybody tell you what you're doing is wrong. Like, ultimately, get people's advice because people can help you, but make sure it's a trusted individual and make sure it's a person that does not have malicious intent. Make sure that they're not coming at you with jealousy. Don't let people discourage you. If you want to do something, do it. And if it fails, it fails. If you're doing something and it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out. But don't feel bad for trying. Try. You never know. You can find a new skill you like. You can find a new hobby you like. You can find a new interest and stuff. And you can meet people that you wouldn't have met if you didn't try that thing. Okay? So y'all done got me ranting. You know it's not difficult to get me ranting once it comes to like hard work and achieving your dreams, just because I love when I talk to somebody and they're like, yeah, man, I tried to do this. I started sewing just because it was fun. And now I have a clothing business. Like, that's dope. That is dope how you just tried something and then now you're able to make money from it and enjoy it. That is one of the things that makes me so happy when I hear stuff like that. So continue. Y'all are funny. I'm reading the comments. And once again, good morning, everybody. I know it's afternoon. I will be doing this podcast earlier now, so we're probably going to start like 7:30 starting next week. So next week might be live or it might be pre-recorded. We will find out depending on if I am going to have a guest or not. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for continually supporting. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for your comments and your words of support. Make sure you follow me on everything. It's Roxxy Haze everywhere. ROXXY HAZE. Make sure you check out All Def Cannabis and All Def Gaming. We're going to have a lot of new content coming out, a lot of new shows, a lot of new cast members that you're going to get to meet. It's going to be dope. I have some shows. So if you're in the Los Angeles area and you want to come see me perform, hold on. Why is this going off right now? If you want to come see me perform, come out. I periodically post my shows. So just check it out and just save the flyer. Just save the flyer so you'll know when the dates are and stuff like that. You can hit me up in the DM. Sometimes I answer the DMs if they're not weird, so don't be weird. But you can always hit me up and ask questions. And make sure to check out thegamer.com. Like I said, I will be writing some articles on there. There's an article I just posted about cereal cleaners. And then there is a feature article that'll be coming out soon. I will let you guys know. But it's about a game that is very, very near and dear to my heart. So I can't wait for you guys to read it. And just continue to follow me and check out the stuff I have, because I have a lot of stuff that will be coming out. One more time, this has been Ante Meridiem with Roxxy Haze, sponsored by Bodum. Make sure you check out Bodum. The links are in the description box below. You can get different items for coffees and teas, and it's just they make a lot of dope products. So check you next AM, guys. Bye.